Hello campers, it's Elizabeth. Welcome to Camp Washington Home Edition. Today we are going to be making campfire apple crisp, and I'm going to walk you through all the steps. First things first, you're going to want to make sure that you have a parent or guardian or responsible adult to help you along with this, because you're going to need help using a knife and with the fire or oven, okay? So make sure you have permission from the responsible adult and that they'll be supervising you along the way. Next, we're going to go through the ingredients or things that we're going to need. You're going to need aluminum foil, a bowl, a cutting board, an apple corer or knife to use to cut your apples. You're going to need some apples, some butter, brown sugar, cinnamon, and either quick oats, old-fashioned oats, or oatmeal packets. If you use an oatmeal packet, you don't have to use sugar or cinnamon because those come pre-seasoned and pre-sweetened. So if you have that, you don't need the sugar or the cinnamon. So what you're going to do right now is pause the video and go get all of your ingredients and supplies, and make sure that you have a responsible adult to help you cut the apples, okay? So pause, go do that, and then you can come back. All right. Okay, now that you have a responsible adult with you to help cut the apples, I'm going to cut using the apple corer. Okay, just like that. Okay, so if it's an apple core like that, it's pretty easy to get all of your apples nice and sliced, but because we are going to be cooking over campfire, and sometimes it can take a really long time, we're also going to cut these into smaller pieces so that they cook faster. So right now you can pause the video and cut up all of your apples and then join me again. Welcome back everyone. So now that you've cut your apples, I put about an apple's worth of cut up apple on each of these sheets of aluminum foil, and so you can do the same. And now that apples are all set, we're going to make the crisp part of the apple crisp. So if you just have oatmeal packets, you're going to just skip right over this. You can follow along, but you don't have to, because if you have apple crisp, or if you have oatmeal packets, you're just gonna put them on top of your apples, and you can use as much or as little of the packet as you want. Sometimes half a packet works, sometimes a little bit less. So go ahead, but if you don't have oatmeal packets like I do, you're going to follow along with me in making the oatmeal crisp topping. So because I am making extra apple crisp packets, I'm going to be doing a little bit more than you're going to be doing, but you can follow along and use this to guide you. So I'm going to do about a cup and a half of oatmeal. Okay, and now I'm going to do some cinnamon. I'm going to do a lot of cinnamon because I like cinnamon. You can do as much as you like, but that's about good for me right now. And now I'm going to add about half a cup of brown sugar. Now you can also use white sugar if you don't have brown sugar, that's just fine. So I'm going to be using brown. And now with your hands,
How much is it?
I did half cup. Now with your hands, you're just going to move it all around. Okay, and I think I want a little bit more cinnamon in here. So I'm going to do more cinnamon. Okay, that's good. Okay, so now we're going to be getting ready to put these in our packets. So each packet is going to have apples, some of this crisp topping, so the oatmeal, the sugar, the cinnamon, and some butter. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put about a scoop of this topping, so this is about a quarter cup, onto each of my packets, okay? And then with the extra, I'm just going to add to the ones that look like they need some more. Now, if you've done outdoor cooking at Camp Washington, not Home Edition, you'll know that we use packets, but we also just see as much works for you, okay? And it can be as little or as much as you want. Now, the next step, I'm going to cut about a tablespoon of butter for each of my packets, okay? So on this stick of butter, and most sticks of butter, you have tablespoons are counted out for you. So you can just use that to cut along. So right here, I've got a tablespoon, and I'm going to put that right on top. So each of my packets is going to get a tablespoon. And then, so you can feel free to pause right now and make your oatmeal crisp crumble, your oatmeal, your sugar, your cinnamon, and then put the butter on each packet. So feel free to pause and then come back, okay? And then I'll show you how to wrap your packets up. So now that you've put together your apples, the oatmeal topping, and the butter on a piece of aluminum foil, you're gonna fold it along with me. So I'm going to get it nice and snug. So I'm going to fold in and in. And you want to make sure that it's as together as possible. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another sheet of aluminum foil and wrap it up. And feel free to do that at home as well. Usually at camp, we try and make our packets as distinctive as possible so that you can watch your packet in the fire. So if you want to do that, you can. Some favorites are when people make like swans or make like a banana shape out of your apples, anything like that. But wrap it up tight, and then we're going to get ready to put these in the fire. So wrap all of them up. You can pause right now, and next time you see me, I'll be at camp. Welcome to camp. My fire has burned down so that there's a good amount of coals, and we're ready to put the apple crisp in the fire. So you're going to take your foil packets and you're going to put them right down on wherever looks pretty white, and that's the hottest part of the fire, and that's where you're going to get good cooking. So now we're going to leave the foil packets in the fire for about 20 minutes, and then we'll see how they're looking. Because this fire is so hot, they might be ready in as few as 5 to 10 minutes, but they could also take as long as 15, 20. So right now, what I'm going to do is flip over each foil packet so that they cook more evenly, and then we don't have a burned bottom. It's been about 6 minutes and the foil packets should be ready. So I'm taking them out of the fire using 2 sticks so that I'm not getting in the fire and that I'm not burning my hands. So you want to be careful. And this is a time to ask an adult for help. So this is an apple crisp that has been sitting out for a couple minutes, and it's been opened, and now I can eat. You're going to want to make sure that you don't touch it before it's too hot, and you're not going to want to hold it on the bottom because that's going to also be really hot. So use the sides to carry it and enjoy. So now you're going to put out your fire now that you've cooked everything and it's burned down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some water, and then I'll stir it up with a stick, and you just want to make sure that there's no more smoke coming up. So I'm just going to keep adding some water. And then I'm going to stir around the coals, and definitely ask an adult for help with this last step to make sure that you're leaving the fire so that nothing else can catch on fire. So if you can't have a fire at home, one thing you can do is you can still make this recipe using your oven. So I have an oven heated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm going to put in my apple crisp foil packet into the oven on a tray so that nothing spills or anything, and it's easier to get out of the oven. And we're going to leave that in there, and then it'll stay in for at least 15 minutes, and then we'll check on it. Cooking times will vary, and then we'll see. So you can pause this video, put your preheat your oven to 350 degrees, and make sure a responsible adult helps you with all of that, okay? So pause right now. Okay, so it's been about 20 minutes and the apple crisp packet is ready to come out of the oven. It took about 6 or 7 minutes on the campfire, but at 350 degrees Fahrenheit in the oven, it took about 20. So now I'm going to open it with you, and I'm going to be using a fork so that I'm not touching the foil, and this will let the foil cool off and some of the steam vent, and then you're going to let it sit for 10 minutes or as long as your responsible adult tells you to do before you can dig in. And because you're at home, you can have it with whatever you like. I think I'm going to add a scoop of ice cream and have it be my dessert tonight. But I hope you had a good time following along, and I hope you stayed safe and have a great rest of your summer. Bye-bye.